Okay, so today I'm just gonna be like going over just like basic Warframe stuff. Um, for anyone who's new, listening will probably be more important, but if you hear me talking about something you're not aware of, then just like look at my screen because I might have it pulled up. Um, but anyways, so if you're new to Warframe, you start on Earth, I believe E Prime, I think. Um, so what you want to do when you start
The system continues to fault.
is try and rush junctions. And the reason for that is because you unlock missions, some equipment. It gives you a few mods. It gives you a reactor, as you can see here. It gives you all this stuff. And pretty much all the junctions give you something. And most of them are reasonably useful. Or they just straight up unlock some like basic functions in the game. So definitely want to rush junctions. Now, in between junctions, because junctions do have requirements, you want to do those objectives. So other than that, now do you have to worry about doing all the star chart? The star chart being all these map nodes. I would argue that when you first start, you probably don't have to worry about it. Um, I would probably just rush junctions and then try to unlock as many planets as you can because one, you need the progression quest, and then two, you need material options and new areas to beat up stuff in. Because like area bosses, so like the Earth boss, for example, and this is the case with most bosses, not all of them, but most of them, they drop blueprints. I've noticed with most like planet bosses that are assigned in a node, like assassination missions, they drop blueprints specifically for warframes. Now, why is this important? Because all the items that you get and craft, as you level them up, they give you mastery points. Now, mastery points is important because that's what you use to level up. Um, so when you mastery up, it does a few things, which it'll explain what mastering up does, but essentially it unlocks more stuff and gives you increased limit for certain stuff. For example, trading, which will be extremely valuable as you play. I would even argue that it's kind of valuable from the start, but you can't trade or anything when you first start. But anyways, so your mastery rank is up here, your next rank requirement. And then that little number in between, right there at the top of the bar, is your total mastery points. And then it breaks it down for you. But the reason this is important is because, again, when you craft weapons, blueprints, anything that you can use and level up, it gives you mastery points. I believe weapons, I want to say are 2,000. And if I remember correctly, I think Warframes are 3,000. Companions being the same as... Actually, it might be a little bit higher than weapons. In any case, blueprint's very important. You want to craft as much stuff as you can and like basically rotate the weapons out and use them. Now, something I do, which is completely optional, is I actually keep all of the weapons. I just buy weapon slots and stuff by trading. Okay, so that's like the very basics. And also, here's where you craft stuff, by the way. It's just right here. Your little foundry. It'll explain this part to you, but you just go right here. And then right here you can upgrade mods. I'm trying to do this without spoiling anything, because I imagine some people care about that. But in any case, also something for newbies, 100% you need to join a clan. There's no talking it, there's no thinking about it. You need to join a clan. It's extremely valuable to join a clan because, and I'm actually the leader of this one. So this is the Odin Empire. You can see the name at the top. Now this is just member information. And then you have your clan information over here. Normally clans will post notifications over here like I do. You can see that we have clans in Avorion, which that one's not very active, but it does still exist. PlanetSide 2, Albion Online, both of those kind of manage themselves. But in any case, the reason you join a clan is because you get a lot of blueprints. The clans, which, if you give me one moment, I can actually show you what I'm talking about. Because this is extremely, extremely valuable. Also, when you join a clan, just a heads up, you're going to need to craft a dojo key. If it does not pop up in the foundry, you could either wait 10 minutes, so basically you could run a mission, or you could just relog. By the time you get logged back in, typically it fixes. Completely up to you. I've heard both work. So that's entirely up to you. So now this is where things get a little tricky, because all the clans have different layouts. You can just like kind of walk into a clan and start building if you're the owner or a member with a high rank. So like all of this that you're seeing right now was built by players, specifically me. But the resources and stuff were donated by my members. But none of this is really important to a newbie, because chances are if you're joining a clan, more than likely you don't really have to worry about donations, because most clans have all research done. But so if you go here, so what I did is I press the escape menu and I go to fast travel, right? See all these labs, and Dagat's Hollow is the only one that doesn't say lab, but all of these are labs with the exception of the Vault. Actually, just the Vault, because the Dry Dock also has research in it. You'll learn more about the Dry Dock later, so you can ignore that. But the rest of the labs are valuable. So when you hit Mastery 2 and then Mastery 4, you should have a bunch of stuff unlocked in the labs. You want to go check those as soon as you hit Mastery 2 and then 4. And then you want to check them again when you hit 5, because the Ignis is going to be unlocked, and that's a really good early weapon. And then you're probably going to want to check it at Mastery 8, because a bunch of stuff unlocks at Mastery 8, and then unlocks again at Mastery 10, and then 15. So remember those numbers. 2, 4, and then you get one item at 5 that's really good. There might be another one. So 2, 4, 5, and then 8, 10, 15. Those are the most vital mastery checkpoints for the labs. So the railjack and stuff you'll also learn on your own, because those are given by quest. And again, you want to do all the quests that you qualify for. Now, something I will do real quick is just very quickly show you how the labs actually work. So I'm going to go to the Tenno lab, because that one's probably the first one you're going to go to, just because it has Warframes in it. So you, if it has a little check mark, it's done researching. If there's no mark at all, that means the research hasn't been started yet and cannot be started yet. Now, if it has this little ... symbol, that means it's waiting on donations. So that means your clan has not finished all research. As you can see, ours has not. If it has this little check mark and there's nothing on the screen but replicate blueprint, then that means all research for that item has been complete, and that item is ready for you to craft right now. So you press replicate blueprint. It's going to give you the blueprint. Here's what you need for it. It's going to go to your inventory. You can search your inventory at any point for blueprints, by the way. And then you just go back to your founder on your ship and you build it. That's it. It'll tell you what it needs and all that mess, and you just build it. This is why it's highly advised to unlock all the areas that you can, because you're going to need the materials to craft items, not only from the dojo, but also this little interface that I will show you, which I think some items are inherently unlocked from this. But right here to the right, this is market. Now, to be clear, this is the system market, not the player market. But what you want to do is just drop this down, go to weapons, and go to primary. So now you can see that there's hide without blueprints. Click that, and then click hide mastered. So all of these weapons have blueprints. And again, this is going to be different for you because you're going to have everything unlocked that is available to you. But it's going to pop up some stuff. And as you play, you can click on these weapons and see the mastery requirement.
Everything in orders, operator? Is that a pun?
And you can just pick up the blueprint and then craft it.
I will attempt
Which
to
you can see I haven't crafted all these yet. But it works for pretty much any weapon. You can see right here, build requirements. Also, the Exceltra is really good once you hit Mastery 8. So is the Archoplasma Arts Mastery 10 one. So that's how you check the market, and I think there's stuff for almost. Yeah, there's stuff for all the normal weapons. Now the Archon weapons, I'm not sure because I haven't even checked. Okay, yeah, apparently there is. But you have to find the parts for it. But they are here. So that's how you find blueprints. And some of them are just drops, like the Stalker often drops Dread. Dread is very good early game, by the way. He also drops a really, really, really rare melee weapon, which is actually the one I have on my back right now. The big sword. That's called War. You get the part for it later that you need to craft it, but really, really good melee weapon. Heavy though, extremely heavy. You need attack speed. So for the mods, this is how mods work. And I'm just gonna, let's see, where's a basic one? Because this is probably gonna look something similar to what you have. Let's see, I have a bunch of upgraded mods, as you can tell. Let's grab Warm Coat. Warm Coat's fairly common. So it's going to ask you to select. You see how it says 1? That means I've selected 1. I don't know what else I selected, but I selected another one apparently. Probably did that while I was scrolling. I did. Trig Mag's extremely common, so I'm just gonna. So this is Fusion. What this does is upgrade the mod. So if you max, like if I do max rank, this is what it'll take. It'll take Endo, which is specifically for mod usage. Every once in a while, you'll use it for crafting something, but very rarely. This is credits. This is like the normal currency. And then you can see this number right here, 2 to 4. So what does this mean? It means this takes 7 slots for the mods. So like all weapons have mod capacity, and this is what it takes from that capacity. So if I were to equip this on something that had 30 mod slots, this would take 7. That's all that means. The polarities you'll learn about as you play, so don't worry about that. And then of course it tells you the weapon type down here, and then the description is typically the effect. And that's pretty much it for mods. You also see the type of mod up here is a little bit different, because you see the arrows up at the top. This is because this is actually like similar to an aura, but for a pistol. That's all that means. But a regular mod, you can see, doesn't have that little arrow symbol. So that's how mods work. The more complicated mods, like Rivens, you'll also learn about mostly on your own. Now, there are primed mods, which are just crazy versions of regular mods. And there's also corrupted mods, which means they give you a really high positive, but also a really high negative. Which sounds not great, but it is actually really good, because you can reduce the negative effect with other corrupted mods most of the time. There's also heavy caliber here, which it's not really a corrupted mod, but I mean it's similar because it has a negative stat. Galvanized mod you'll learn about later. Don't worry about that. But I'm just telling you stuff that you need to know like immediately. So just a heads up for this, by the way, when you're crafting stuff, it will ask you to confirm. Let me see if I can get it to trigger. I can't. I had weapon slots, but it's gonna ask you platinum. If you don't have enough weapon slots, or you don't have enough Warframe slots, it's gonna ask you for plat. Now again, personal peeve of mine, but I save all the weapons, which really hurt my progression early game because I was too busy making plat instead of progressing. So, I mean, you could rotate weapons out that you kind of know you're not going to use. Warframes, however, are a different story. I do advise gathering plat to keep the Warframes, because you never know when you'll use them. Like Ivara, for example, who is primarily a stealth Warframe, but she does have a really strong fourth ability. She summons a bow. I don't ever use her, like ever, but recently I started needing her on Riven challenges because I rolled like multiple stealth requirements, and I don't have another stealth hero, so I had to use her. So that's a prime example of why you want to do your best to keep Warframes. Which again, you can get most, well, I'm not going to say most, but a lot of the bosses give Warframe blueprints. The main blueprint for regular Warframes almost always can be found on Market, which is the little deal up here. So don't worry about the Warframe blueprint itself, you just need the part blueprints. Like, I have 2 right now, like Cassis, Neuroptics, and Systems. So these. Let's see, what else? Thinking. See, I've covered mods. Oh, trading. You won't unlock trading until Mastery 2, and the number of trades you can do a day is based off of it's based off of your mastery. So like I'm Mastery 17, that means I can do 17 trades a day. But if you're Mastery 2 and you're just now able to trade, then that means your trade capacity is only 2. That's it. Now trading is pretty simple. Now what do you trade? Well, mostly prime parts. Like 90% prime parts. Oh, there's also events here. But mostly prime parts. So you go to void fissures when you have them unlocked. And so lith fissures for lith type relics, which are the basic ones. They're in order, by the way. And then Miso is Miso type relic, and then Neo is Neo type relic, and so forth. Now the Omnia fissure is for everything, but it's typically really high leveled. Compared to what you'll be starting at anyways. So you probably won't be able to do that for a while. Sorties you unlock later. Do these every day if you can. They're very helpful, easy way to get plat if you don't need the items. Sometimes you do need the items, and in that case you would keep it or use whatever item it gives you. Oh, invasions. Yeah, always check these because they might have something good. For example, you see blueprints right there, and a weapon part. So how these work, you pick what side you want to be on. So like if I click this one, it'll pop up this, which I could either take Field Ron and join the Corpus, or I could support the Grenier and get 3 Dead Knight injectors. So whatever resource you need, or whatever resource you have the least of, you should probably do. I advise keeping like 10 or so of the 3 of those resources, which is Mudigan Mass, Dead Knight Ejector, and the Corpus one. Try to keep 10 of each of those on you, because you'll use them at some point. You don't typically use more than like 2 or 3 at a time, sometimes 5, but no more than that so far. But yeah, you wanna rush through the planets and just kind of unlock them, and then rush through them, do the junction, do the quest for it, whatever, and then rush to the next planet and do the same thing until you have them all unlocked. Just make sure that you're doing the quest all the way up to the point to where you get stuck. Sooner or later, you will get stuck, and when that happens, that's when you start farming and getting a little stronger. Then you move forth and just do the same thing again. And then after that, typically you're all caught up. And then it's just a bunch of random farming. But for new players, it's really urgent that you unlock all the areas that you can, because you will be going back. Sooner or later, you will have to go back. Now, to quickly give a warning on stuff not to waste, be very careful with how you use.
Operator,
I probably
you
don't
have
have
remembered
any on
well
hand.
how the Tenno arm themselves.
But the Orcan items, Orcan Reactor, and Orcan Catalyst, don't waste them. Keep them. You will need them later. Polarization, don't worry about this for now. You'll learn about this later. And you'll kind of... But what this does is reduce the mod usage, which is why I said worry about it later, because you don't have any good mods when you start, so there's no reason to increase the mod capacity. Or reduce the mod capacity that the mods take. There's no reason to do that because you don't have mods. But those forma are very valuable, which I don't think it's possible to get them before doing relics. Although I could be wrong. Make sure this little thing right here, I think it tells you about this, but I'll show you. Nightwave. Make sure you check this. Try to do these. If you can't, that's fine, no worries. But try to, because they give you a bunch of random good stuff, as you can see. And also, with the Nor's volume credits, do not buy anything but nitrane extract when you start. Now later on you can buy whatever, but when you start, make sure that it's nitrane extract, because this is the only place you can even get it. Which, by the way, the little shop is down here. Credit offerings, and then it pulls up. This switches here and there. So I do advise checking it every so often, because you can see, like, sometimes it gives you a skin. Sometimes it gives you mods that you might need. helmets, whatever. But just make sure you check this occasionally. They can even give you catalysts. But yeah, make sure you check this. Which actually, I need to get Valvan. You see, I've been putting that off. I keep forgetting. So make sure you check that too. So when you're modifying, I already showed you how mods work. Equipping them is pretty simple. You just search or drag whatever mod you have or want, and then you stick it in the slot. And that's it. Your number is up here. This is how many mods you can have, and what is currently available to be taken. So right now I have 3 slots that are open, which means I can upgrade 3 nodes like this, and then it would go up to. So make sure you keep a watch on that number if you're doing a build, because you don't want to go over. Aura mods increase the capacity, and if you have an aura mod that works well with the slot, then it gives you double. So like this one is supposed to give me 7, but it's giving me 14 because I have the right type. So make sure you pay attention to that. Sorry, I heard something. But yeah, you check all this. This is your loadout. These are your sets of loadouts, which you can see it says loadout slot. Yeah, you just click on them and then you just go. That's it. You can also do this for the navigation screen. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you're crafting items. Make sure you're leveling up items. Pushing the junctions, unlocking areas. Try to save resources if possible, but if not, then don't worry about it. And make sure you join a clan. I'm so serious. That is so valuable. Now, if you're new and would like to join us, we're pretty much always taking members. I think we have roughly 150 slots open, which means we could take 150 people. So if you want in, that's totally fine. Just apply. We accept up here. You see our clan name is Odin Empire No Spaces. That's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, Onslaught. So Cephalon Samars, who can be found in any relay, at some point you are available to take his quest. So when you reach your first relay, make sure you go visit Cephalon Samars, because Onslaught is just basically in the easiest way to get XP. So like if you have a bunch of items in the craft queue that are done and you don't have weapon slots, what you do is load up into Onslaught, kill a ton of stuff. Don't worry, there's other people there. And you get a ton of XP. And then you could discard the weapon and grab another. So that's like the easiest way to get mastery points. I personally always use Onslaught. It normally takes me maybe 10 minutes to level Warframe. Probably even less for a weapon, like maybe just a few rounds. So definitely unlock that. Up here, don't worry about these two. You'll figure it out as you go. Oh, yeah, and for the star chart, the one with the little mastery symbol, or like feathers, whatever that is, victory symbol, that means you've mastered that planet. There's no areas to unlock. So that'll tell you if everything's unlocked or not, which you can see a few of them for me or not, but most of them are. And on the map, your dojo is right here. This is where the labs are and stuff. That's the name of ours, by the way. If you want to join ours. We have like 98% research done, so most of it's done. think that's it. Yeah, just make sure you check all these tabs, see if there's anything you need, and then just do the rest that I told you, and you'll progress really fast. So for mastery challenges, by the way, always practice first and then do them. Don't immediately attempt them, because if you fail it, it's gonna lock you from doing it for 24 hours, which might not seem that bad, but it's really annoying, and also just frustrating. But make sure you do the practice first, so you kind of know what you're going into. You can pick something that works well with it. And I think that's it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. If I missed anything, I guess just leave a comment and ask a question. I'll try and answer. If you like this and want more information on Warframe, then definitely subscribe and leave a comment telling me, because I won't know otherwise. Other than that, I wish you guys good luck and hope that you mastery up quick.